Alright, some thoughts. It's not been a good day today. I've been working hard on this little Fender Mustang Micro, and the honeymoon period is a bit over. Now, I want to preface something here. I deal with all kinds of gear. Number one, in headphone amps. Number one, number two. Given the fact that this is not really stereo, it creates an amp in a room, which is magical. It isolates you from everything. There's absolutely nothing to putting this on. Literally. I'm not going to do a video about this. I've done plenty of videos about this. This for me is the number one headphone amp in the world. Ask me why and I'll tell you. So the Go came, the Go went. Now the Go was so good, created another Facebook group just for that with my boy, Mr. Rock, and we were so jazzed with it. It doesn't do some things, but with the help of Stefan, the groups came together and we got this MIDI patch app working, and it can connect now with any foot switch, with Helix, with anything that does MIDI, with apps. It can be driven, it does stuff. The Fender one isn't doing that, and so far, from what I can tell, they don't want people messing with it, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I didn't want to mess with the Boss stuff, but seeing the potential of that system and what it could do, and knowing the way it would switch and all that, it had to be done. And Boss were cool with that. You know, they were really good. Yeah, Yoshi. So I don't intend to bash this versus Boss in any way, shape, or form. This thing is cool. Run like this, where I'm going wireless to here and through there. It's not on. This is what you're hearing now is the guitar air. There's just stuff that it won't do, and I'll get into that. But listen. Two hands, yeah. I'm not freaking around with anything. No MIDI stuff in there. This is just an slow gear, a chorus, the amp, a decent drive. I think I'm using a muff fuzz or something like that. Two delays, which that can't do, which Spark 2 can't do, which many things can't do. Boss does do that. Helix does do that. And if you want to do halo-y type sounds, if you want to make really beautiful noises and stuff like that, you kind of need all that in there. So, you know, if there's one complaint that I would have about the sound, it's Fender, you've got to step up the game a bit. Now, the real problem I have with this thing today is I jump into the cloud, and there's quite a few presets in there. Loads and loads and loads of presets. A lot more than there were last week or the week before that. So I send a preset up and mess up a few things, and it's like, oh no, I put the wrong description in for the delay and the drive, and I'm gonna look like an idiot doing this. Let me go and fix it. There is no way to fix it. You go into the Fender Tone Cloud, which, you know, looks beautiful. The app, beautiful. That's my thing. Skeuomorphic displays like this, like by FX, like Fender. It's the selling point, and everybody's jazzed and jazzed and jazzed and jazzed over this thing, and rightfully so. The Fender Tone Master Pro, beautiful. The iPad of modelers, and that's great. But if it doesn't work, if the functionality in there isn't working, somebody's got to say something about it. And I'm not seeing YouTubers out there doing that. We've got guys who are coming in and saying, ooh, this is a game changer. Ooh, look at this thing. Ooh, isn't it pretty? Well, yes, it's pretty, but there's a problem here. if thousands of people are going out there and downloading these things, I've literally seen presets in there with thousands of downloads. If you're someone who's making tones, God forbid, selling tones even, whatever, as a community person who is creating sounds and sending them out there, that's your voice. If you send a preset to the Fender Tone cloud today and there's a mistake, you can't edit it. That's your name on there. You can't touch it. You can't delete it. Why is that the case? So I started jumping in there and thinking, oh my God, well, let me put up a decent one at least. So I put up a second preset that sounded a bit better, but it could have done with some more work. You'll see these two. If you look in the recent ones, if you look for Alec B, they're in there. But these are not what I would consider up and on the level to where I would want them. And that kind of bugs me that I can't get them back now or correct my mistake. That's got to be fixed. So I try and log in. I logged in through Facebook or something like that with my social media thing. It worked the first time, worked the second time. I've had problems all week with Facebook. I would strongly recommend, if you are logging into the Tone Cloud, to use your email, because lo and behold, I couldn't get back in there after logging out. The cookies or whatever were screwing things around, and that's a real problem. So for the first time in, I don't know how long, since forever, I actually had to go to Fender support and log a ticket so that I could explain to them, hey, I can't create a new profile using my existing emails. I'm not about to go and create another third profile just to get in and continue to add crap to the community database. That should be sacrosanct, the profiles that you're putting in there. It's your name on those things, if you get what I'm saying. And so there are things that are screwing this up. When I published this preset, it gave me a beautiful little link. Dandy, so I could share, yeah? I go and click on the link. It takes me to the Fender website, but not to the cloud, to a different place where only half of the stuff is coming up, or nothing is really coming up. So you've got my name in there, but you can't see anything. So why is it linking there in the first place? What is the point of that? Tried to read the minuscule little serial number on the back of the thing. I have to use the iPad here to enlarge that so that I could get it. And I went in to try and register the little app. And don't get me wrong, I dig this thing. If I would say to anyone, if you're looking for this and you can't get a Katana Go, well, get that. It's fine. But there are caveats. And I'm one who likes to smash caveats. I dig old gear. Don't get me wrong. I'm not slamming Fender at all, but Fender is Fender, and fuck it. These things are supposed to work. You are supposed to be able to log in, edit your work, post your work under your name, get back to it, and deal with it. That's your stuff. No? For every other guy out there who's producing these things and making videos and saying, oh, isn't this great? Isn't this lovely? Isn't this well and fine? You're going to have 10,000 Joe Blows making things, sticking them up there by mistake, and filling the place with crap, and that's not good. Something's got to be done about that. So, ticket to Fender support has gone in. It is now Friday. This went out this morning. I haven't heard back from them. It's going to be the weekend. I don't expect to hear back from them. Probably, I can get around with playing and doing some stuff, but the more I look at this thing, the basic effects that are in there, it's just not enough. You don't have a spring reverb that trips from Fender. How? The amps are all fine, but the headphone output gets a little bit distorted. These are all things that, again, I recommend it. It's a cool thing, but I would expect better, personally. I would expect better. And, you know, there are some good videos of guys making some good sounds, and they're all saying the same thing, you know, for the money, blah, blah, blah. Well, I think it's very important that Fender, above all, who have since sent me emails immediately to be able to go out and buy t-shirts and caps and stuff like that. I mean, what? This is not Marshall. This is Fender. You know, I will buy the hats and caps and stuff like that one day eventually, but this stuff has to get fixed. This is inexcusable. If you're trying to log in and you have a problem with your password, there should be a little button on the website that says, you know, reset your password. You shouldn't have to go and create a second or third email to continue piling on crap into a database for other guitarists. That's not cool, you know. It gives you a bad look. It gives Fender a bad look. And, you know, we've got picky people in the group. Not overly picky, but I think as a basis for any digital system that you have to be able to make backups. You have to be able to restore backups. That's working. If you have a cloud, you have to be able to share stuff. You have to be able to remove stuff when you want. You need to be able to better organize it. There are a bunch of different genres in there. How they pick these, I don't know. I really don't. Maybe 8 things and then other. Well, ambient stuff or cinematic stuff? Well, you know. This is my first round. I've got to say, I'm not at all pissed off about this, but after a week of being dicked about by Facebook, by all of these other things, Fender, I'm sorry, you know. It will really show if these things aren't corrected quickly. You guys are kind of the new kids on the block with digital stuff, but this is just not at a mature enough level right now. The software runs in circles or doesn't work or blocks or locks up or nah. You know, we're not there. Get in touch. There's a ticket open. You know, it would be really, really good to get this stuff working. It would be really good if my phone actually worked. Am I going to go out and buy another phone to have the Android side working? I don't know. Post a list of the things that do actually work. If there's a burner out there which I can get, I wouldn't mind spending the money to be able to have access to this. But further research, you know, further looking into things have to be done. I was really quite impressed with this display, to the point where, okay, yeah, this would tip me to go and sell a bunch of gear and get the Tone Master Pro. Like this? I don't know. You know, it's, yes, a tiny little headphone amp. What's the big deal? Well, the big deal is that's the Fender name on there. And you guys should not be putting out stuff with this many problems with it, you know. Sounds okay, but from one who builds communities and has built communities for over a decade now, you can't build a community if you can't have control of your presets. And as much as we worked with Boss to try and make something better with the different editors that we've had and the different community groups and stuff like that, they responded really well. Balls in your court here, Fender. Respond well to this and kind of like, I know you're working on it. I know that the apps are coming, but I really think that today now, nah.